Hello there, beautiful souls. Welcome to the very first episode of Podcasting for Spiritual Women. I am going to tell you that I'm nervous. This is the hardest episode to record for anyone. The very first one. You have so much to say. You have so many things going on in your head. Maybe you've scheduled out lots of other content like I have, but how do you do that first introduction? How do you really get those listeners to follow, to like, to say, yes, I want to continue? And maybe it's the other episodes that are going to be released on the same day, or maybe you just didn't have time for that and you're like, I don't know, I really need to nail this, right? You really need to get it done in the first try. So that's why this one is what I consider the hardest episode to record. This episode is the one where you're confronting your fear of being judged, of maybe not sounding ready. Maybe you had a ton of tech problems, or maybe you were like me and your dog decided he's going to move, even though I try to get him out of the room, or the chickens are over there crowing and whatever. Or maybe it was just, do I use my pop filter? Do I record in what program? There's a lot of different pieces, a lot of different moving pieces. And sometimes it's just the content. You think, I know what I'm going to talk about, but who am I to really start a podcast? Am I really qualified to do this? Do I know enough about what I'm going to talk about to do this? And then this is the one that actually has been really on my mind. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I should have started this podcast years ago, and we should be on episode 230, not on one. But you know what? It's still going to be okay. I'm going to probably record a bunch of different episodes and maybe put out a couple a week. I don't know. Don't hold me to that, because I know me too. And as a human design projector, I have lots of things that I want to do, but just not a lot of energy or time or space to do it, right? There's a lot of times where I would just not want to be in my office recording. And I get that. I get that batch recording is hard. I get that recording alone is hard. And then the re-recording, even today, I started this episode over twice because, again, it's the hardest episode to do. It's the one where you really need to figure it out. And I'm going to also say that it's going to be the one where it's really the hardest in your head. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. After a while, people are going to be listening to your 25th episode, your 74th episode, your 343 episode, and they may never, ever listen to this one. So it was really the hardest for you. Not necessarily the hardest for them to listen to. And actually, if they're super fans, they're probably going to laugh hysterically at your first episode where you're saying, I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's crazy, because you do know. You know exactly what you want to talk about. It's just that initial getting started, right? It's that initial, hi, my name is, and telling them a little bit about yourself when you're in a room full of women networking and you don't know anybody else. This is just like that. This is you standing in front of a group of 20 women and just introducing yourself and saying who you are. And by 20, maybe you'll get lucky and maybe the room was smaller or bigger, however you feel. And ultimately, these first few episodes, while you do a ton of advertisement around it, again, it may not be the one that people continue to follow you with. And that's okay, because better to get it all worked out, all the kinks worked out while it is still young and not a lot of people are following, right? And then you're get more confident each time you record. Now the next one, I might even record right after this because today is my recording day. And the next one might be perfect. I might be riffing off and just going to town and talking and having a great time. But this first one is the one where even I, as a podcast producer, find this one to be the hardest. It's the one where I have my own imposter syndrome. I'm the one that really feels like, is this what I'm going to put out? Is this what I need to put out? And I know mentally as a podcast producer, if I was standing there next to someone that wanted to start her podcast, I would just say to her, just do it. Just get it started. Do the first 10. Don't worry about it. Then do the next 10, then do the next 10. And each time it's going to get better and it's going to get better and it's going to get better. And your episodes don't have to be 3 hours long. Please don't make them 3 hours long. Let's keep these short and sweet. And that's actually exactly what I plan to do here with this podcast. I plan on having episodes that are about 10, 15, 20 minutes long. I really don't want them to be huge. And I want them to be easily consumed and actionable. So for me, this first episode is me introducing my fears, my desires, myself to you. And by doing that, it's maybe not giving all those actionable steps that I know I'm going to deliver in future episodes. So I guess in a way, maybe I am giving an actionable step because I am telling you that even I can be nervous about this. Even I am feeling all those feels that you feel just getting started. But here I am doing it because done's better than perfect, right? We all know this old adage. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be true to you, true to your heart, true to who you are. And tell people a little bit about yourself, I think I mentioned, had the dogs. They were in here a little bit ago. Should I be recording with dogs? Nope. But Mr. Max he's my buddy. He sits in here all day long. So as long as the UPS truck isn't driving by, he's fine. And then there's my chickens. I mentioned them as well. Now I do have the windows closed today, so you can't hear them, but I can. And I worry about that, about the clarity of that. But I think in post, I'll be able to take out anything that might have happened, although you may not have even heard it. And then a little more about me. I told you I'm a podcast producer, but here I am now talking about podcasting for spiritual women. And that's because my passion is to get your voice, your wisdom, your knowledge out into the world. And not only do I produce podcasts, but I also help you grow them. I am a podcast growth coach, and I am super excited to bring this new avenue into the world, into the airwaves, specifically for the women that I help and I serve. And to get you the desired outcome in your business that you want from something we all have, our voice, our knowledge, our wisdom, our power, because our voice does have all of that. It's the easiest way to get out there. No recording of videos, no editing of the videos, which takes so long sometimes. But now, knowing that you can reach people with some tried and true, like years, decades of experience of knowledge here as far as these things really work. And I think that this is going to really put that key in the hole and really move things forward. Open that door and get people to see you for who you are and see what you have to offer to the world. Because you're important and your voice is important and your knowledge is important and it deserves to be seen, heard, listened to, and you deserve better life with your business, and hopefully that's with your podcast. So that's what I'm here to help people with. So if you haven't started a podcast, you're not behind. You are just not at the place where you need to be yet. And I can help you with that. I can help you launch your podcast. I can help you grow your podcast. And hopefully this podcast will help you do that. That's my goal. That's my aim, is to just bring you those actionable steps every week so that you can launch and grow your podcast and make more money in your business and bring more wisdom and knowledge to this world. Yeah. If you are wanting to get more support through your first episode hurdle, I can help, and I can certainly help you with all of this. But for today, I'm actually just going to leave you with that, because I don't know that I want to sell to you in the first episode, right? That's, while organically I would tell you otherwise, and we will probably have an episode about this later on too, but right now I just want you to listen, and I want you to know that I am right here with you, holding your hand, basically saying, yeah, this first one is the hardest, and I'm scared too, and I'm nervous, and now I have to go do a lot of editing because I'm sure I had some mistakes in this. Next episode, we're going to be talking about why every spiritual woman needs a podcast. And let me also tell you that I'm not always going to know what next episodes are going to be, because sometimes they will be what's in my heart and what I need to talk about now, and maybe based on questions that you guys have. And I'm always interested in answering whatever questions you guys have. So if you do have them, please send them along and I'll be happy to answer them. But otherwise, I guess that's a wrap on my hardest episode to make, right? Like, this is it. I did it, and I'm excited to move on to the next one, where I'm really just going to bounce right in and give you some juicy details about how to grow and how to launch and how to monetize and how to find more business in your podcast. So until next time, thank you so much, beautiful souls, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Podcasting for Spiritual Women. If you would like more strategy and tips and some tricks on how to make your podcast better, I recommend that you join my newsletter list. You can find that at kpcreativemedia.com/newsletter. Until next time.